My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of The Adjustment Bureau. And okay, so I remember watching the trailer for this movie back in 2011, and I loved the trailer. The trailer got me so hyped up for this movie, and the music especially stood out to me. I don't recall if I saw this movie in theaters. I don't think so, but I did watch it back then, and I don't remember what I thought of it. So, anyways, I just rewatched it for the first time in 15 years, and it's great. I loved this movie, and nobody really talks about it, but I feel like they should. So, let's begin by talking about the cast. And Matt Damon is just fantastic. He is so charismatic, he is so likable and charming, and he just carries this movie incredibly well. Emily Blunt is also terrific. She is so likable and charismatic and charming and funny, and these two actors have perfect chemistry. This entire movie relies on their performances, and they knocked it out of the park. Anthony Mackie, I'm not the biggest fan of, but I do feel like he gave a pretty good performance here. John Slattery does a pretty decent job. Terrence Stamp is great. Like when he shows up, you know he means business. He brings more dramatic weight to this movie because he just has that kind of gravitas to him. Michael Kelly also does a pretty decent job. So the movie is really well acted and it's really well directed by George Nufi. Now, I'm not too familiar with him. I know he's written a couple movies I've seen, but he directed Elevation, The Banker. Like, this seems to be the only real standout movie he's directed, and I just love how fresh and original it feels throughout. Like, it is a sci-fi movie, but it feels really grounded in that aspect, and I kind of dug that. Like, it's not like big sci-fi crazy. It's very restrained. It's very subdued, and I like the approach he took to the story here. I love some of the chases where the characters are running through doors and ending up in different places. Definitely reminds me of the climax of Monsters Inc., but that stuff was thrilling, and I did feel like this movie had real stakes to it. You know, like if Matt Damon's character talks about these guys in hats, he pretty much gets lobotomized. So I was really invested in everything going on. The romance is so good here. And I just like how it's a movie about free will and fate and destiny. Really universal themes, and it felt like a thoughtful script. Until the very end of this movie. Like, the first 95% is pretty close to perfect. The final 5% suck. This movie just cops out on everything, and it feels like an ending. Well, the movie ends because it's time for the movie to end. Like, it's so underwhelming, and I don't know, I just wanted way more. So, yeah. I also gotta mention the music, though, by Thomas Newman. And it's funny because as soon as I hear a single note of this music, I knew it was done by Thomas Newman. He just has a really signature sound that works incredibly well for this movie. It sounds haunting at points, it sounds romantic and sincere. I do believe his music elevated this movie. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's something unlike anything else. I like the grounded aspect of like this sci-fi stuff, I really feel like that allows this movie to feel distinct. I like the world building here. I loved the characters and their romance, and yeah, I'd give The Adjustment Bureau an 8 out of 10. Okay, have you seen The Adjustment Bureau? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin out.